Yes, it is a competition and it is heating up this year, and New Consumer is here to check out the action at one of the top spot contenders. I'm at the Sunrise Festival in Yeovil, Somerset, very close to Glastonbury, where bands such as Alabama 3, The Egg and Dreadzone are performing. Well, in typical British summer festival fashion, it has now started raining, so but I don't mind because it's a great excuse to taste the organic food available here for professional reasons only, but it's really tasty actually. The main music stage is still being set up behind me, but actually this festival is not just about the music. In fact, the music has taken a little bit of a back seat compared to the real star of the festival, which is its greenness. Well, let me see, there is compost toilets. In fact, there's a compost toilet design competition happening on site. 80% organic food and compostable packaging. Then there are the horse-drawn carts carrying people around site, renewable energy produced on site and offset when not, and the eco-rangers who float about advising people about environmental issues. Surprisingly, the compost loos don't smell at all. It actually smelled worse than the non-compost ones. There's a little patch of blue sky just there, and you're making pizzas in there.
Yes, yeah.
Organic pizzas?
Unfortunately no. Just been drying it out with a small fire to put some pictures in.
Very clever, you could even make it at home. So next barbecue, knock one up in a week.
Yeah, weekend.
A weekend?
Yeah.
So we're at the Moonbeam Cafe. We're joined by
Dan and Kaylee, Moonbeams both.
So tell us a bit about the food. Everything here is organic?
Yeah, as much as we can be.
And
yeah, we
locally
try and be organic.
sourced.
Yeah, and we're sort of solar powered in the main as well. So we've got a solar panel on top of the van. And,
So the
in
kitchen and all the
battery pack.
electrics are run by sustainable energy.
So everything runs from the solar panel?
Yep.
Well, we've got gas as well, so we use gas as well. So for some of the cookers, but in the main.
Just a water
Well, British festivals wouldn't be the same without the rain.
Exactly. So is it quite hard to actually maintain the food, because it's sort of a 4-day festival, to maintain sort of organic?
We just have to keep making it fresh. Every day we have to buy it, every day we have to make it, and every day we have to sell it. So it's a big juggle of judgment also, but we're totally committed to the fresh food. So in a way it's easy, we don't have to worry about a freezer van and we don't have to microwave anything.
Is the fact that it's a green, environmentally conscious festival play a role in your decision?
Yeah, it does, but I would come anyway because it's an absolutely brilliant festival. It was like, for the last 10, 12 years, the Big Green Gathering has been the best festival on the festival scene in this country by a long way. But this festival is at least as good as the Big Green.
First time I've been to this festival, yeah. I've actually come today because this local school have come to look at the environmental aspects, and we've come with them.
A lot of the mainstream festivals are pretty disgusting, like the litter, and all you can really get is burgers and chips.
So it's raining again outside, but thankfully with us we have Joseph from sustainableevent.com, and he'll tell us a bit about how Sunrise are measuring their environmental footprint.
Sunrise Celebration have signed up to 15 sustainable event principles based on their waste consumption and the CO2 for people transport, how they got here, how far they travelled, as well as things like their impact on the local economy to do with whether the traders and the food suppliers, food and drink suppliers, are sourcing locally and organic food. They've issued quite an innovative thing called the Eco Bond, where they've got all the traders to pay a deposit to say that pledge that they will follow certain criteria like composting all their food waste and recycling all their other waste and purchasing biodegradable packaging. So we're measuring as best we can to see how much waste is generated and what happens to it.
So when can we conclusively say that Sunrise is the greenest festival in fact?
The principles and indicators that we're measuring, we're trying to make them as comparable across different events as possible. So you could do the FA Cup or the Olympics down to a little village fair. This is sort of like the first event that's done it in this much detail. So that's a sign that they're trying to be the most sustainable event in the country. Really, we need all the other events to start measuring their impact as well using a similar framework.
This is a pedal power washing machine for the ones who haven't heard of it or seen it before.
So how long do you have to pedal to actually get a load clean?
Depending on what you got in there, between 10 minutes to half an hour.
It's quite reasonable.
So we just gently pedal away. Pedal away all that fat.
It's quite relaxed really, isn't it? Looks like it's working.
All energy used on site is from renewable sources. We've got very strong environmental policies which the traders have to adhere to. All Sunrise people have to use the Sunrise certified compostable disposables. All food waste can go into compost bins which we're putting all around the site. That's being taken to a compost plant and then it's going to be brought back as fertiliser for Beerley Farm. They have to use eco-cleaning products. They have to not sell chemical soaps and stuff on the stalls to try and encourage the public to not be polluting the land. We are aiming to be the greenest festival, and we're also aiming to become a model sustainable event so that people can learn from how we do it, and they can be inspired to have their own green festivals.
Well, short of going virtual, as some festival critics say all festivals should, there does seem to be some good work happening here. So we have Kirsty and Lindsay, two eco-rangers, actually much more colourful eco-rangers than the ones we've encountered. Show us your wings. How informed do you think the crowd that is drawn to the Sunrise Festival is with regards to these issues?
Well, everyone knows what the basis is because that's what they're getting involved in. Also, all the traders, they know that they have to have 80% of all their goods has to be organic as well. So
locally sourced.
Yeah, locally sourced. And I think it does attract a crowd of people who want to know more.
Well, the sun's finally out, and I suppose it's time to decide, is Sunrise the greenest festival of them all? Glastonbury this year is giving out 100% recycled loo roll to each festival goer, so there is tough competition. But I have to say that the festival organisers here at Sunrise are really trying their best to minimise their environmental impact. And I suppose the audit will tell us what the details are. So from us, Sunrise, thumbs up.